transition, lays it up with a right off glass and in.
Muse at the basket, gets fouled and one.
Ashley wants three, give her three.
Offensive rebound, and it's Njoku. It's a Monday night and a perfect night for Boise State to end their non-conference schedule. They'll do it by taking on the 6-4 Warner Pacific Knights. The first matchup between the Broncos and the Knights in the two schools' history. Boise State looking to get a win to close out the non-conference. Leonard Berry with former Boise State post Heather Berry, and Heather for Boise State, they're coming off that loss on Pepperdine. It came down to the last possession. They had an opportunity to get it done, couldn't close it out. So now that makes it even more important that they get the victory here today to go into the conference schedule feeling good.
It is. The Broncos need to get a W here to make that fourth win of the season. The Broncos are hungry. The Broncos need to come play, and they just need to compete. And what a better game to do it than on your own home floor on a Monday night.
And for Boise State, for most of the season, defense has been the key factor. The hustle, the scrappiness, the steals, and the blocks have all contributed to Boise State's success when they've had it so far in the young season.
It is, as you see here, the blocks, the offensive rebounds, everything that happens on the defensive end scores on the offensive end. As you see here, a block, and that hustle play by the Broncos then transitions onto the other end.
For Boise State, they have not allowed an opponent all season to score more than 65 against them, besides BYU, who's looking at the time to be probably a top 10 team in the nation when it's all said and done. For Boise State, scoring at the start of the season, something they were hoping to find. Anna Osley, looking to be that person for the Boise State Broncos. Over the last 5 games, she has made 15 of the 23 pointers that she has put up.
Anna has come out to play. She is ready to shoot, and she will continue to shoot. No team can stop her, as you can see here. The Broncos know when Anna is hot, continue to feed her that ball.
She hit 3 three-pointers in the fourth quarter to bring Boise State back against Pepperdine. They couldn't get it done in the end, but they're hoping that they can convert scoring into a victory here today. It's the 3-7 Broncos matching up against the 6-4 Knights when we return to ExtraMile Arena. Just about time for a tip at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State welcoming Warner Pacific. Warner Pacific, a team that has been very good in the Cascade Collegiate Conference so far. They are an NAIA opponent for Boise State, second of the season along with Oregon Tech. And the Broncos hoping, like in that Oregon Tech game, that they can walk away with a W.
Warner Pacific looks to start out in a man defense, get the Broncos off their heels.
Good luck for Anna Osley there, but just rattles in and out. Osley, of course, had the final look down at Firestone Fieldhouse against Pepperdine. They ran the play for her. It ended up in the hands of Caitlin Burgess, and it was Burgess's heave that ended up over everything. The Broncos came up 2 points short in that contest. This is Anna Farner for Warner Pacific, best assister on the team, so she's looking to create when she gets the ball in her hands. Best scorer on Warner Pacific, Courtney Jackson, who missed that three-pointer. 18.1 points per game for Jackson. Broncos will need to slow her down. Elodie Lalat wants to get started and does. Nice pass from Trista Hull, 2 points for Lalat.
It's a nice pass from post to post. We got Trista playing at the 3 guard today for the Broncos.
Trista Hull in the starting lineup as the small forward. This is a board for Lalat, has it knocked away. And it'll be chased down. Good hustle there by Hannah Myers, the senior. Ends up on the floor with a jump ball.
You see her. She got her on the backside. Elodie needs to bring both of those elbows up so the little guards don't get close to them. But nice hustle right there by both teams getting on the floor early in this ball game.
Of course, in the open, we talked about Boise State's hustle plays right there. One for the Knights. Jackson, another deep 3, and this one's off the rim to Narrow. Narrow trying to go a little bit too fast, and Farner steals it away. Boise State is still trying to figure out just how exactly they're going to play with this lineup all out there together. Another loose ball. A lot of bodies on the floor. Farner looking for the open Jackson. You can tell early, Courtney Jackson wants to shoot as much as possible. 5 on the shot clock, out of bounds off Farner. And Bronco basketball on the Warner Pacific turnover.
Jackson is a shooter. She is a scorer. She leads this team with 18.1 points per game. She's going to shoot, and she's going to continue to find any of those open shots for Warner Pacific.
One thing Boise State did very well in California was they shut down the 2 best scorers for Pepperdine. Both Bambrick and Stedman, the 2 best Waves players in terms of getting the ball in the basket, both had very difficult shooting days. Boise State here with another turnover.
And Warner Pacific came out on that play with the full court pressure, which ended up in a turnover for the Broncos and another possession for the Knights.
Farner again just trying to find that pass. This is Gilsdorf on the drive, and her layup spins out. Narrow goes the other way to Osley. Good find, Lalott, left hand. And Elodie Lalott has all 4 of Boise State's points.
Nice ball movement by the Broncos as Mary Kay saw Anna. Anna then saw open Elodie for an easy 2-bucket play.
Boise State sharing the basketball has been really their motto this season. Both Mary Kay Narrow and Dominique Leonidas in the top 10 in the Mountain West Conference in terms of assists per game. And here's Narrow getting a steal.
The Knights looked to go back door there, but Anna read that one, and Mary Kay read that one and got the steal.
Anna Osley missing the 3-pointer. Second attempt this game. Both times she's been left all alone. It took her until the 4th quarter in Malibu to really heat up, but there's that defense that we talked about.
Every ball game starts on defense. If you have struggle getting it into the post, well, right there, nice look by Abby, although she did not convert.
Good move by Muse, just couldn't get open. Another 3-pointer on its way for Warner Pacific. That was Myers, and like the other attempts prior, does not fall. Lalott doubled in the post, ball is loose. No one has complete control, and in the end it'll turn into a jump ball.
Another hustle play right there by both teams as we see the Broncos are getting on the floor right here. LD a little bit of bobble, trying to get the pass into Abby Muse, although nice hustle by both teams. Jump ball.
Warner Pacific certainly playing with a lot of energy here early, as are the Broncos. Narrow, good job to elude the defender. Good ball movement to Lindsay Lovrovich. And that 3-pointer cranks the rim. Narrow tries to go up, couldn't do it because she was stopped. Now Lalott is just ripped. And the ball is taken away. Warner Pacific packing the paint early.
The refs are really letting both teams play down there low in the paint.
This one does bounce out of bounds before it's saved. That was Amila Sales who tried to dial it up from distance.
Knights come out here with some full court pressure, trying to slow the Boise State team down.
Looks like they're dropping into a bit of a deep zone.
Kind of a 1-2-2 is what it looks like.
Muse goes up and 1 for Abby Muse. Boise State gets some more points on the board and an opportunity at the line as well.
It's a nice look right there by Elodie to see Abby open. Assists, 2 points for Abby.
I know earlier I talked about Dominique Leonidas and Mary Kay Narrow being the 2 main assisters as Muse makes it a 3-point play. But Elodie Lalott here is going to start really getting into that conversation. We've seen now over the past 3 games, when she starts touching the ball down low, she is drawing double teams at an impressive rate. And when she starts passing out to open shooters, she's going to start having a couple double-digit assist games here.
She will. She'll either get it on the assist side or she'll get it on the point side because only one person will be able to guard her. So Elodie will be a big factor when it comes to that.
Lavrovich to Osley, fired in to Muse and stolen away by Gilsdorf. Fast break, Gilsdorf up, she is fouled, and Warner Pacific gets their first points on an and 1 from Kylie Gilsdorf. We'll take a break before she takes the free throw. It's Warner Pacific 4, Boise State 7 here early. In the first 10 games of the season, Coach Gordy Presnell has emphasized getting the ball inside to Elodie Lalat. And here in the first 5 minutes, you can see exactly why.
She is. She can do it on both ends of the floor, as we see here. She's passing, she's assisting, she can take the ball up. She is somebody to be reckoned with, and this Boise State team knows if they get Elodie the ball, they are going to be in good standings for when she touches it.
Gilsdorf, the senior from Oregon City, hits the free throw. Gilsdorf leads the team for the Knights with 7.3 rebounds per game. An aggressive trap from Warner Pacific leads to Lalat getting to her spot and scoring again. 6 early points.
It's a great press break right there by the Broncos. As you can see, the ball was passed around, got it to the middle with Abby, and an easy bucket, as we were talking about, for Elodie.
Sophomore has 6 at the Broncos, 9. Abby Muse has the other 3. It's inside scoring for Boise State to start this one off. Jackson bouncing in. Shot bounces off the glass, and Muse has it wrestled away, but Gilsdorf loses it off of herself because of the tight defense. So Boise State will get it back.
Yeah, as you can see here, the rebound gets tied up. Abby, again, as we've talked about, from a post to a post, get those elbows out so those little guards can't get in there and steal the ball away from you.
And you can see Coach Sower in the background letting Abby Muse know to get those elbows up. Ball into Lalat. Little high-low action between Muse and Lalat. Shot doesn't go, but there's Abby Muse for the rebound. 4 members around her, and she still gets the shot away. But finally, Warner Pacific comes down with it.
Nice look inside right there by the Broncos. Getting the ball deep, just was unable to connect on that possession.
Mosley shadowing Farner. This is Farner again. She gets to the tin, and on the second chance attempt, gets the basket, makes it a 2-point game.
Nice hustle right there by Warner Pacific, getting the ball in the basket for the second chance points.
Good skip pass from Osley. Great find from Narrow, and a tough take from Lavrovich.
Nice court vision right there by Mary Kay, seeing the open player on the far end of the floor, as you see here. Easy up and in basket, going to the line for the 3 chance points.
Great Santa Cat suit going on there. Freshman Lavrovich at the line and cannot convert the and one opportunity. Lavrovich got just 3 minutes against Pepperdine on Saturday, but she's been one of the freshmen that gets a lot of time. Defensive breakdown for the Broncos, and Peyton Slaga may hit no easier 3 than that this season.
That was a wide open 3 right there by the Knights, and they hit that one right in the basket.
Slaga, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona, named to Warner Pacific from Eastern Arizona College. Lavrovich finds Osley. Bowers, she can hit from there. But this one is short. Referee's certainly letting them play here today as Narrow tried to take it away, and then she got flung to the ground. 1-point game. Jackson for the Knights' first lead, no good. Bowers the board.
Jackson is a player that will shoot those. She will come off that screen, go to the right, and pop it every time if she's open.
Narrow puts it up. Bowers trailing her, gets the board and the bucket.
Nice second chance points right there by Rachel Bowers. Something we would love to see more from her. She did an awesome job on that play.
Bowers, senior from Newhall, California. 16 games, 10 starts for her last year. So far this year, she's been off the bench. Turnover by Boise State, and an in-tight attempt for Slaga. Bowers has the ball, and we're gonna get a foul called against Slaga as we take another look.
As we see here, get those elbows out again. Those little guards won't get in there. This is a scrappy Warner Pacific team, and they are gonna be on that ball every time, as you can see here with this full court pressure. They're trying to get the Broncos out of their rhythm, and get them distracted so that they can't convert on the other end.
Not just a scrappy Warner Pacific team, but a very good Warner Pacific team, especially in the Cascade Collegiate Conference. The Lot, not known for her shooting from the baseline, does put that one up. And that was something that you imagine as Lalotte's career goes on in Boise State blue and orange, she will begin to develop, much like Rachel Bowers did. Bowers, her first couple of seasons, more of a back to the basket inside scorer. She started developing that jump shot, made her even more fearsome as an offensive threat.
It is. Triple threat is never bad for a post player who can hit out on the three-point line.
Jackson once again unsuccessful on the outside. She's 0 of 4 on her three-point attempt. She's just 1 of 7 on the floor, and Lovrovich stepped out of bounds.
Broncos moving really fast on that play. Just a little bit of a foot shuffle right there by Lindsay, which then made the ball be turnover for the Broncos.
A three-point game. Boise State keeping the clamps on Jackson. We'll see if any other Knights can pick up the scoring. Good job by Nero to read the pass, but dribbles the ball on the end line.
Nice hustle right there. Definitely a nice look by Nero, reading that play, knowing she almost got it close to almost a 2-point basket for the Broncos on the other end.
Another look at Nero dribbling it just barely on the line. Basketball IQ off the charts for Mary Kay Nero. Comes from an insanely talented basketball family, of course. Her uncle coaches for the Denver Nuggets as an assistant. Her grandfather's in the NBA Hall of Fame. And even her sister is a team manager for Boise State. Well, basketball runs deep in the heart of the Nero family. Lovrovich. Rebound to Labria Denson. 10 seconds for Warner Pacific to try to make something happen here at the end of the first quarter. Farner travels, and it'll go back over to Boise State.
Broncos look, as you see here, a little shuffle by that left foot. Rachel got a little bit of a angst against the player, causing her to turn over the ball.
Trista Hole from downtown, so close, but just can't find the touch. As it is, Boise State goes into the first break up by 3. Beautiful passing from Nero. Broncos up by Trey. We're back at ExtraMile Arena, second quarter action. Boise State up by 3. Trista Hole, 4-3. Off the rim, Muse, second chance opportunity. Make it a third chance, and this time she gets fouled as she puts it up for a 4th time.
Nice offensive boards right there, being able to get that second chance points. Trista Hole almost hit the one at the buzzer to end the first quarter. Nice look there. Again, offensive boards by Abby, putting her to the line.
Trista Hole playing guard for the first time, really, in her life, according to head coach Courtney Presnell earlier today. But she's definitely taken it in stride. And if practice was any indication on Friday at Pepperdine, she can stroke it from outside. She beat everyone in the three-point competition they had.
It's what we love to see from a post, be able to shoot it from behind the arc. So then you can only do it. You can do it from behind the arc, and you can do it close to the rim. Something a post loves to talk about.
Well, then you just have the added touch of being able to say that you're the best three-point shooter on the team and the best inside scorer. I'm sure Mallory McGuire liked to brag about that last year.
Yeah, then when somebody wants to play one-on-one, and you're like, okay, where do you want to play? From three-point line or from the post? You pick.
Good pass from Nero, finding Trista Holt. Pass to Ellie Lott, tipped away. That was Jackson, who got her hand in there, even with the size mismatch of being just 5'7".
And that's what the Knights are looking to do, looking to get the Broncos to push it quick and trying to get the ball out of their hands to then turn it to be able to get a chance on the other end of the floor.
At the moment, Boise State has already turned the ball over 8 times. Jackson gets space, and Abby Muse, one of the best shot blockers in the Mountain West, comes through with her first.
Nice block right there by Abby. Nothing better than getting a clean block, put it into the bleachers. Nice look there. Abby definitely has that wingspan that's going to be tough to get much around her.
40 blocks a year ago. That was second in the Mountain West. She's going to get called for the foul here. She's third in the conference at the moment in terms of blocks per game, 1.3 for Muse. Just so much length.
She does. The give and take is players are going to fake you like that, and you got to be careful. You don't want too many blocks. If not, you're going to be sitting on the bench because you've got too many fouls. But again, timing, just like you saw another block right there. It's all give and take.
To make it 2 for Abby Muse. Narrow trying to slip through that skinny needle to Osley. Denson out for Slaga. Another three-pointer doesn't fall. Tough sledding for both sides beyond the arc. Trista Holt running the floor. Great find from Osley. And Boise State gets 2 thanks to good vision.
Great corner awareness right there by Anna. Seeing Trista come right down the middle. Nobody guarding her. Easy 2-point basket.
Nice assist from Osley. That's her first of the night. Alexa Mee, the freshman, picked up her dribble. Now Denson going for 3. And the second one drops for Warner Pacific. They're 2 of 11 from downtown.
Warner Pacific loves to shoot from beyond the arc, as you can see, taking 11 threes already in this game.
Forcing turnovers and shooting threes. Osley can do both of those. Doesn't hit this one. Great tip by Elodie Lalott to get the space for Muse. And she's going to go back to the free throw line.
Nice knowledge by Elodie, knowing she had 3 players on her with this block out here. Knowing Trista, as you see the little tap there, foul from behind. Muse goes to the line.
6'3" sophomore forward. Mountain West all-freshman team a year ago. Trying to build on that. 15 starts, 23 appearances for Abby Muse. Really found her stride, especially defensively, through the middle of the conference season, and just kept it up all the way through Boise State's appearance in the Mountain West Conference tournament before they were knocked out of it in the semis by Wyoming.
Broncos are coming out with a 1-2-2 zone here. Little different look by the Broncos. Coach Ramirez has something up her sleeve here as we continue to play this ball game against Warner Pacific.
Certainly a double-edged sword when a team can shoot the ball as well as Warner Pacific does. Osley trying to get her first 3 and does.
Nice 3-point there by Anna. Team's going to play in zone. The keys are going to be on the 3, and Mary Kay passed it to Anna, wide open 3.
First 3 points for Anna Osley. And the one thing about playing in zone is when the ball gets moved around, you got to get back to the shooters.
Yep, shooters, once they're open in the zone, you can hit it. It's the place to be.
Osley brings the ball up. She's got a cross-court pass to Narrow, does find it, and now Narrow will load one up. That one's off the rim. McQuider, offensive rebound for Boise State. And now Abby Muse gets barged into. Looks like they're going to send Abby Muse to the free throw line.
Nice look, yeah, definitely a foul there. Could have been 2. Depends on who they wanted to call it on. It could have gone on either of the nights.
And they've decided to change their minds. Didn't think Muse was in the act of shooting. Based on the replay, that's probably the correct decision. Here's Narrow. Finds Osley. Osley in low. Abby Muse, great move, but just too strong. Pushed it off the glass.
Great look right there by Abby. Nice footwork. Just couldn't get it in to go.
Denson trying to go up. Abby Muse, we'll see if they credit her for a block. If they do, it's her 3rd. Osley's going to get another great assist to Trista Holt on the bounce pass this time.
Broncos are pushing the ball up the floor right now. They're looking to get this Knights team off their heels.
Slaga into the post. Narrow thought she had it ripped away from Myers. And a nice soft touch off the top of the cylinder. Gets 2 for the Knights. Doesn't seem, Heather, at the moment like this press and this trap is necessarily working. Is Osley off back iron. Another offensive rebound for Sydney McQuider. She's trying to find Muse. Narrow 3 ball on the way, and Mary Kay Narrow connects for a triple.
Broncos are finding that open spot in the zone on that three-point line. Getting the ball in and getting the ball out is the key to breaking the defense.
We've got a whistle for a foul away from the play. It's Boise State 26, Warner Pacific 17, and Abby Muse with 3 early blocks already for the Broncos as we head to a break. Abby Muse. Defense begins and ends with her for the Boise State Broncos, and not many get past.
No, Abby has the long wingspan, as you can see here. She's already got 2 blocks today, one into the bleachers and the other one tipped, which then leads to offense on the other end for the Broncos.
And just like we talked about earlier for Boise State, it becomes so much easier on offense when you're able to catch the opponent off guard and get into the half court faster than they are. Good baseline drive to find Sales, and another three-pointer just bounces around into the hands of a Boise State Bronco. This time it's Lalott with her 5th board. Lalott to Bowers, nice pass, flung over to Narrow, and Mary Kay Narrow, her 2nd three-pointer of the game.
Nice ball movement right there by the Broncos. 4 different players touched that ball, finding the open Mary Kay Narrow for the 3-point bucket to beat that zone defense put on by the Knights.
And in less than 16 minutes so far, Boise State has picked up 10 assists. They've got 10 assists on 11 made field goals. Myers trying to bully. Gilsdorf back to Myers, trying to just get around Trista Hull. And the ball goes out of bounds off the Broncos, so Warner Pacific will keep it here on this end.
A lot of people in the paint for that rebound there. Unfortunately, as this play, a couple Broncos went for it off the hands. Knights ball underneath the basket.
A lot, rebound number 6. Great play there by Trista Hull as well, not moving at all, even though her defender, or the player she was defending, tried to go right around her. Knew if she moved, she was going to get whistled for that foul. Narrow, back to Osley, a little head fake, that's all it needs. And Osley, with that much space, is going to convert.
What a shot. Pretty shot right there by Ann Osley. It's so perfect. I don't know what else you would call it. Open 3-bucket play right there.
Whistle underneath the basket. A blocking foul called. Didn't see who it was called against. I think it's going to be Lalott.
Elodie. It's an interesting call for not calling much earlier in the game today.
Trista Hull just jumps in the way of the inbounds pass. Here's Osley flying up the floor, and she's going to go to the charity stripe. Got fouled on the layup attempt.
Push there by the Broncos, getting transition points, as you can see here. Anna to the line, shooting 2.
Threw the ball almost right to Trista Hull. As Osley misses the first free throw attempt. Broncos on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Osley went to Chaparral High School. Elodie Lalott gets the 2nd miss. Osley 0 for 2 at the line, but Elodie Lalott there to clean it up.
Elodie is a player that will do it all over on the floor. As that time she was not blocked out on the O-board on the other end, and she got 2 points.
Elodie Lalott's going to get called for a foul. She just went through the smaller Warner Pacific player there. I believe that was Amiko Nagai.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about that call. Nice hustle by both teams.
Tell you, the Boise State bench did not like that call. Coach Presnell, Coach Sower, both up clapping for Lalott's aggressiveness to go sky and get that rebound. Broncos doubling up Warner Pacific at the moment. With 2:35 left before the first half ends. Some space for Jackson, and again, another 3-pointer that just does not find the bottom of the bucket.
Jackson will continue to shoot those. She is the shooter for this team. She's the scorer. She is somebody that's going to keep the Knights in this game.
At the moment, she's shooting them out of this game. She's 0 of 6 from deep, 1 of 10 from the floor. She's got to figure it out, and quickly Muse gets fouled. And then just a bystander there as Myers trips over her.
A little bit of foot action, got a little tripping there, as you see by number 5. All players look to be doing fine. Abby at the line.
First free throw off the back iron and out for Abby Muse. 19-point quarter here for Boise State in the second. After Warner Pacific played them close in the first, the Broncos have found their scoring touch, and Muse makes her 5th free throw of the game. Another whistle and another foul being called. Abby Muse is going to get it.
Yeah, I was going to say a little bit of over the back. Abby is taller, definitely taller than the player. However, got her body on that foul, sending the Knights to the line.
Muse is quickly approaching double-double territory as Farner misses the first free throw. Muse has 7 points and 7 rebounds already in this one. Farner, no good on both, and Muse gets rebound number 8. Malott also with 7 rebounds for the Broncos. She's on the bench at the moment. Great rebounding display by Boise State. And Muse, give her 2 more points. She's got 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Awesome post-to-post play right there. Nice court awareness by Rachel Bowers. Seeing that Abby's open with a little spin move to the middle. 2 buckets for Abby Muse.
For Muse, it's just her second make of the floor, but she's got 5 points at the line. Myers off, narrow. Gets in there deep to grab the rebound. Now off to Muse. A little back down action before Bowers pops out. Osley's got to try to save this, and she does. Narrow, time and space. Another 3, no good. Bowers' attempt blocked by Myers. Cole trying to force it to Muse, and this one is stolen.
Knights push the ball.
Myers, a little jump shot. Just seems like Warner Pacific is struggling from the floor, regardless of how open they are. Osley pretty open here, and 3 more for the sophomore.
Nice bucket right there by Abby. Going to the far side. Mary Kay finding her 3-point bucket.
Osley has now hit 3 triples in the first half. 30 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Meyer, jab step, now finally does put it on the floor. Nagai, that shot is blocked. Bowers clipping it, and the Broncos can choose to take the final shot of the quarter. Arrow zigging and zagging. Osley with 3 seconds to Muse. Narrow, shot contested, and that will end the half. Boise State can't add another triple, but they do go into the locker room on a 17-2 run to end the second quarter. Lots of threes falling for Boise State. They've hit 5 of them, and they have a big lead going to the break. Halftime at ExtraMile Arena, Boise State Broncos leading the Warner Pacific Knights 40-17 at the moment. Leonard Berry alongside Heather Berry here bringing you this ball game. And Boise State, after the first quarter, the shooting was slow. They came right alive in the second, 25 points. A lot of 3-pointers falling for Boise State. And when you look at those percentages, you can completely understand why the score is the way it is.
It is. The Broncos are shooting well, which doesn't leave many rebounds for Warner Pacific to get. However, Warner Pacific is only shooting 23% from the floor and 13% from the 3-point line, which leads to lots of rebounds. Hence, you see the 32-12 distance on both teams here on the halftime stats.
And for Boise State, they've already grabbed 11 offensive rebounds. Abby Muse has 3 of those. Her and Elodie Lalat have both been putting in work down low. The 2 of them have a combined 15 rebounds, so nearly half of Boise State's total rebounds. And if you took everyone else off the floor and just had those 2, they're out rebounding the Knights as a whole.
They are, and a lot of that comes from turnovers too. both teams are having not a great night in turnovers. Turnovers 11 for the Broncos, which you want to see under double digits each game, and 7 for the Knights, and those turnovers lead to scores on the other end, or at least shots on the other end, which in this case for Warner Pacific just aren't going in.
And the difference in that turnover number, obviously Warner Pacific with 4 less than Boise State, but Warner Pacific has stolen the ball off of the Broncos 10 times, while Boise State has only taken it away twice from the Knights. That's the big difference in terms of 5 unforced errors by Warner Pacific compared to Boise State. Warner Pacific's just been all up on them, stealing the ball.
They are. The Broncos knew coming in today, Warner Pacific is not going to let anything come easy. They're going to play scrappy. They're going to be all over the ball, as we saw that full court pressure coming into it. They're going to try to do everything to make you change your game and cause turnovers, which could lead to easy basket for the Knights.
And certainly the difference in that full court pressure that we saw in the first half, Heather, was the fact that Boise State was able to get some easy looks inside once they broke it, because Warner Pacific was scrambling to get back. It allowed Elodie Lalat and Abby Muse to get to the block quickly without any double teams like we've seen in the half court set, and that's made the difference really on why Boise State's field goal percentage is so much higher.
It is. The Broncos are getting shots, open shots from the 3, or they're getting into the paint. As you can see, the free throws there too, 1 for 3 for the Knights, and 5 for 10 for the Broncos. The Broncos have gotten there at least 5 times, which you've got close baskets and those rebounds with the fast break and the zone. You're either going to break the zone by shooting them out, or you're going to get the ball into the middle, and that's where the Broncos have done on both ends, getting the ball into the middle with, we see the post-to-post and the three-point plays.
Warner Pacific's had some good looks, haven't been able to convert. We'll be back with highlights when we return. Still halftime at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State holding that 40-17 lead. It was born out of a 17-0 run over the last 5 minutes and 9 seconds of the second quarter, and it was a 19-2 run for the Broncos over the last 6 minutes in the second. And for Boise State, getting the ball inside was something that worked very well for them in the first half.
It was finding the open player, as we saw, from post to post, from guard to post, from guard to guard. The Broncos were definitely moving the ball and finding the open player, and many assists for many Broncos throughout that first half.
Boise State sharing the wealth. Mary Kay Narrow picked up 5 assists. Trista Hole got 3, Osley with 2. As a team, Boise State has 13 assists on 15 made baskets, and that is certainly a number that the Boise State coaching staff will look at in the locker room right now and be very excited to see.
Share the ball makes this an even Bronco win if the Broncos can hold it out for the second half. And as you can see here, pushing the ball up the floor, the Broncos have just done it on both ends of the floor in the first half.
For Boise State, they got a couple of players who are approaching double figures. No one is there yet in this game, but Osley has 9, Muse has 9, and Lalat has 8. Both Abby Muse and Elodie Lalat are very much on double-double watch. Lalat's got 4 already on the season. Muse has 2, and Muse is the closer of the 2. She's got 9 points and 8 rebounds, while Lalat has 8 points and 7 rebounds. They have been the sparks that allowed all these threes to start falling later on in the first half.
They have. The Broncos been open, they have hit, and that has caused other sparks for the Broncos to continue to hit. Find the open player, look inside, get to the line. Easy bucket right there by Muse. Great jobs on both ends.
Boise State just really kept it rolling. And again, that zone that Warner Pacific was setting up, they're almost begging Boise State to shoot the ball. And at the start of the game, when the Broncos weren't that hot, it was all right. But now at the moment, they're going to have to figure something out, because you can't keep leaving Mary Kay Narrow and Anna Osley open when they're having days like they are.
They are, and the Broncos got to continue to come out and shoot the way they have, continue to break down that zone, and continue to push on that full court pressure that the Knights will continue to do to keep this Bronco team on their heels.
For the Warner Pacific Knights, their leading scorer at the moment, Peyton Slega, she's got 5 points on a 2 for 4 from the floor performance so far. She did hit a 3-pointer for the Knights. The Knights just 2 of 15 from beyond the arc for 13%. Boise State 5 of 16 shooting, 31% from deep. We'll take one final break. When we come back, it'll be time for the second half here in Boise. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Bronco basketball on the Mountain West Network. Boise State with the lead. We're about 30 seconds away from coming back for the second half. Boise State is 20 minutes away from closing out their 4th victory on the season. That's what they're trying to do here today. On a 2-game losing skid are the Broncos at the moment. A tough game against Washington State and then a tough loss at Pepperdine. Boise State coming out firing on all cylinders so far through the first 20 minutes and hoping to continue that success here over the last.
And the Knights, it's time, new quarter, new half. Hopefully they regrouped in the locker room to come out, put that pressure back on the Broncos, and finish the second half of the game.
Second D1 team that Warner Pacific is playing this year. They had an exhibition at the Chiles Center against the University of Portland earlier. Of course, Warner Pacific from Portland. There's Trista Hull for 3, rattles in and out. And Abby Muse picks up another big rebound as Osley swings it around. That pass was almost too telegraphed from Hull. She's still sitting over there in the corner as Lalat gets it out to her. Good ball movement from the Broncos. It's been the MO today, and Abby Muse becomes the first player into double digits. She's got 11.
Nice first possession right there by the Broncos. Getting the ball moving around the floor, getting all the touches in to find the open little layup there by Abby Muse.
Drive in from Sales, floater put up, and that one is good. Nice finish from the freshman from Hawaii.
The Knights come back out here with that full court pressure as we saw earlier in the first half, trying to get the Broncos off their heels.
We'll see for Boise State if they can keep the tempo and the energy up here, playing with a short bench today. Narrow, off right, Muse can't save it to anyone. Both Dominique Leonidas and Caitlin Burgess unavailable in today's game. A couple of big losses in terms of the scoring and defense department for the Broncos. Myers outside, and Lalat's got it. That's her 8th rebound. Trista Hull just has it bounce right past her.
Broncos look to push there. Trista just was not ready for Mary Kay's cross-court pass that ended up in being a turnover.
Just bounced right next to Hull's feet. Looked pretty disappointed that she let it go. Here's Jackson trying to score at the basket. And Hull and Myers tangled up for a jump ball.
You can guarantee every rebound you're going to have a Knights player in there trying to get the ball here, as we see, again, as we talked about earlier, from a post to a post, get those elbows out, and those guards will not be able to get that ball.
Knights have played a lot of games recently. In fact, going back to December 10th, this is now their 5th game in just a 10-day span. And this is a foul. Jackson is finally going to get to the free throw line for Warner Pacific. Foul goes against Anna Osley.
Jackson in the paint trying to post up Osley. She can do it all over. She does it. She does everything for this team.
This is Gordy Presnell, Boise State Bronco head coach. 17th season here at Boise State. And next year, it'll be his 36th overall in coaching, and he'll have split them evenly between the Boise State Broncos and Seattle Pacific University.
Awesome accolades for Coach Presnell. And fun to think about. I was here on the team when Coach Presnell made his first appearance as a Boise State Bronco. Fun to look back on and remember the good old days.
So much success here with Boise State, only Mountain West program to ever win 4 straight tournament titles. Coach of the Year in the Mountain West in 2018. Broncos won the regular season in 17 and 18 in the Mountain West. 10 years after they went back-to-back when they were members of the WAC in 07 and 08. Trista Hull pull-up baseline. She can shoot, I mentioned it earlier, and there you see it go down for her.
It's a nice look right there by Trista. Pretty shot over there on the baseline corner.
So much of the season so far, she's been utilized as an inside a backup to either Muse or Lalat, but this small forward role, if the Broncos want to go big, This could be a lineup we see a lot more in the near future, especially once they start getting into conference play, which is only a week away.
Yeah, I really like the look the Broncos are bringing today. Not because we wanted to do it, but nice look right there by Elodie a lot. 2-bucket play. But it's a different view that the Broncos have never seen before. As we're right here, we're in a 1-2-2. Broncos coming big on the beginning of that zone.
We'll get a timeout call. This one's coming in from Matt Gregg, head coach of the Warner Pacific Knights. We'll take the timeout along with the teams. It's 46-21. Boise State has the lead here in the third. Boise State by 25. Some former Broncos back in town enjoying the game. Riley Lupfer, one of them. And we were just talking about how it's a new look for Boise State this season before the break. Well, Heather, one thing I was going to mention was when you think back to all those Boise State teams, you think back of really good guard play like Riley Lupfer, like Brady Hodgins. Of course, there were a couple of fantastic forwards, the Pawakoa sisters as well, but going small has always really been the idea for Boise State. Mary Kay Narrow, another great pass, and this bucket's going to count. Assist for Narrow, points for Muse, and an opportunity for another three-point play.
Great court awareness right here by Mary Kay. Look at her. Abby, open, bucket. She's going to the line.
Muse just flashing open right underneath the hoop. She's now got 13 points. Narrow's now got 7 assists. And Muse make it 14 points for her.
As we were talking, the Broncos definitely have been a team that has had posts but have not come out with big posts, even back to when Gordy started coaching here during my days. We have not been known as the big team, come with a big front. And I like what I'm seeing today.
There's a nice cut, but Gilsdorf can't knock it down. Narrow pushes tempo. Lavrovic. Freshman drives in, goes up with contact, and a late, very late whistle on Farner. Lavrovic going to the line.
Nice drive by Lindsay baseline. She wasn't sure if the foul was going to be called, as we see here. Nice drive baseline. One defender on her. Lindsay's going to the free throw line for 2.
So Lavrovic makes the first. Freshman from Gig Harbor, 2-sport athlete at Peninsula High School. Played volleyball and basketball. Stands at 5'9". Abby Muse misses the shot. Lalat with the third chance for Boise State, we should call it, after the missed free throw and the missed Muse layup. More rebounds, more points for the Bronco Bigs.
Yeah, that rebound down there by Abby puts her at a double-double for today. 14 points, 10 rebounds. What a game by her.
Third of the season. Osley read that like it was a children's book. Lavrovic in and tangled up. Jump ball. Jackson, with the hands.
The Knights have done a great job getting their hands on any ball they can, no matter where it be on the floor. As you can see there, defensive play, jump ball, possession to the Broncos.
Narrow to inbound. Her numbers certainly going to go up after this one. She's averaging 3.5 assists per game. Osley gives Abby Muse an assist.
Foot off the line, it doesn't matter. Leave Abby open and she's going to hit that.
Osley with 12, Lalat with 12, and Muse with 14. Great team scoring. Muse with the steal. Knocked it right into Elodie Lalat's free hands. Lavrovic.
Broncos look inside, trying to find that open player.
Osley is the one who's open, but it's just for a moment. Shot clock down to 7. Lavrovic up, the foul, and it is offensive. A charge taken underneath the basket by the freshman Bobby Clark. Boise State up big, and they are shooting it well here in this one. Middle of the third quarter, Boise State 55, Warner Pacific 21. There's a look at Boise State's schedule up to this point. The 4-game losing skid really hit them hard, but the Broncos learned a lot in those games, especially the La Tech game and the Seattle U games, 2 very close contests. And in fact, 4 of Boise State's 7 losses this season have been by just a combined 14 points. LA Tech, Seattle U, and Pepperdine losses, all 1 possession differences.
Yeah, definitely there are lots of games on that schedule that could have gone in the Broncos' way. It just comes down to the one basket that will make or break the W or the L in the wins and losses columns.
And that's the kind of stat that you often see with young teams. That's exactly what Boise State is. It takes time, especially at the college level, to learn how to win. Gilsdorf, corner 3. Abby Muse, another rebound. Great game for her, 16 and 12.
It is, and the Bronco has a lot of youth on this team this year, and it just takes a minute for everybody to learn how to play together, learn what everyone's tendencies are, and once the team gets it, as we can see today, then things start to mesh, and that's when the L's turn into W's, which then will turn into season around.
Abby Muse's 16 points today have tied her season high. She had 16 against Florida Atlantic, and that is a basket for Kylie Gilsdorf.
Nice hustle by Kylie there. Broncos forgot to box her out. She got an O-board and an easy basket.
Now if Muse gets one more basket, that would set her career high. Scored 16 last year and this year. And Anna Osley continues to light it up from beyond the arc.
Anna is feeling it today. As you can see the fire on the boards over here in ExtraMile Arena. They know and they can see what Anna can do around here.
And someone we were talking about early in December because Osley hadn't found her groove yet this season. But lately she's been on it. Here she is taking the lead pass from Mary Kay Narrow. It's been a beautiful day of dimes from the point guard. Osley, the recipient there.
It is. The Broncos have great court awareness today. Mary Kay saw Anna up near the floor running the ball. Easy bucket for both of them.
There's Bobby Clark scoring for Warner Pacific, freshman from Longview. Played at R.A. Long. Mary Kay Narrow, not just a passer, also a shooter.
Yeah, Mary Kay is another one of those players, if you're not going to guard her, she's going to shoot it. And boy, does she see that right there.
Narrow connects on her 3rd three-point field goal tonight. Boise State finding offense from everywhere. Denson wants to answer his back, and the Portland State transfer hits it for Warner Pacific.
And Denson has hit some good shots today for the Knights when they have needed it.
She's 2 for 2 from deep. She's got 6 points. Osley, that is way too much space.
That's the look. Anna is feeling it today. What a shot by her.
60% from downtown for Anna Osley. She's 6 of 10. And she's got 20 points.
That is remarkable from a three-point shooter. 60% when you look just to be 30% to be great.
Osley hit 25 three-pointers a year ago for Boise State. She only played in half the season after returning from a knee injury. But again, she's one of those players that you just expect as time goes on, as she gets more comfortable with the college game. You could see some comparisons. Might be really early to throw this out, but Riley Looper is one of the best. Osley can shoot it in the same vein.
She can, and the Broncos have been known as the city of threes, and we're definitely shooting the lights out here tonight.
Osley set her high school's record for three-pointers hitting a career. McQuarrie pulls that one down, 161 as Chaparral. And Trista Hull, again, Boise State just running the floor, finding the open player underneath the basket.
Yeah, the Broncos are definitely pushing it in transition to get those open buckets, and I like that all the Broncos are transitioning, as we can see. Anna's running, Trista's running, so not only posts and guards, everyone is trying to get down the floor to get those open, easy baskets.
Narrow trying to poke it away. Boise State with 30 points here in the third quarter. 27 in the second, 30 in the third. Broncos have definitely figured it out in terms of scoring the basketball. Bounce pass here to Michaela Jenkins, who's getting her first action. Jenkins puts it up with 3 on the shot clock, and the baseline jumper falls. The pass into McQuieter from Osley, and Sydney McQuieter just turns around and gets 2.
Nice look in right there by the Broncos, getting it on the baseline, seeing that Sydney was open.
3-pointer at the buzzer from the guy does not find any part of the rim or the backboard, and Boise State up by a ton. 3-point shooting has been electric for the Broncos as we head to the 4th. Anna Osley, what a game for the sophomore guard. She's got 20 points, which ties a career high, and she has been lighting it up everywhere on the floor.
She has been shooting from the wing. She's been shooting from deep. Wherever the Broncos can find her, Anna is doing it, as even running the floor.
And Heather, I'm going to throw out a number for you that's probably going to shock you. About 70% in the last 6 games now. That's Anna Osley's 3-point percentage.
It's unreal. That is crazy. It's awesome. I love being a Bronco, love seeing it. I love that Anna has found her shot. She was struggling a little bit in the beginning of the season, and she has come to, and I love that she has found it and continues to lead this Bronco team.
Her 2 3-pointers made per contest is 7th in the Mountain West at the moment, as this basket counts. Great finish by Nagai, and the Canadian is going to try to add another.
Yeah, nice drive right there. Anna with the body, sending her to the free throw line.
Freshman Nagai, but at Samuel Robertson Technical Secondary School in BC, and we've got a lane violation against Warner Pacific, so the free throw won't count. No chance for the 3-point play.
Here's that full court pressure, as we've seen all game from Warner Pacific. Buster getting a little bit of action down here on the scorer's table.
It's the Chris Lewis show down on the other end. They're on the radio, and I guess Buster Bronco, the color commentator. Wonder what insight a horse has in terms of basketball. Probably not much. Errant pass by Jenkins, and that one sails out of bounds. Again, that pressure up the floor. As we take a look at the pass that goes out of bounds, Boise State just simply unguarded in the full court press, got the free bucket from McQuieter.
The Broncos are just trying to find the open player, trying to push it, and they're finding them. Warner Pacific struggling a little bit on the defensive end.
McQuieter flying in for a rebound. She's got 4 in this contest. Boise State, as an entire team, now has 42 rebounds. Rachel Bowers right in there, couldn't score, but will get the opportunity to shoot some free throws. And it looks like she's apologizing to Nero for missing the shot.
Nero's like, where's my assist here? As you can see, she would have got the assist. Rachel Bowers gets her offensive rebound and headed to the line.
Nero's got 10 assists, and incredibly, that's not even close to her career high. In fact, she's the school record holder in terms of assists. There is the Chris Lewis Buster Bronco broadcast. 1350 KTIK. I don't think Buster's actually saying anything, but if you want to listen to it, that's where you can find it.
Maybe the first time I see a mascot talking, but you know, anything can happen.
A lot of time left in this 4th quarter. Boise State with the commanding lead. The big number all year long for the Broncos offensively has been 70. They're 3-0 when they get 70 points or more. So far, they are well clear of that. Another steal. This time it's Lavrovich. Merrill scanning the floor. Ball into McQuieter. Good move down the baseline. Boston College transfer just misses it though, and then couldn't get her own miss.
Nice left-handed look right there for Sydney. I like that the Broncos continue to push on the offensive end. This is a great time and a great game for the Broncos to get together and continue to figure out how each of these players plays.
My guy really strong off the glass, almost got it home somehow. And that was one thing yesterday, and that we've been seeing recently with the Boise State men's team. A lot of the players on that Boise State's men's team, as the Broncos will keep this here, just toes on the line. They've been talking about the camaraderie and the togetherness that has allowed them to go on what is now a 5-game winning streak. And as the season goes on, with all the new pieces for Boise State, you might see as conference play begins, a lot of players who are more comfortable with each other on and off the court that leads to more on-the-court success.
It is. When you look back at the history of the Broncos, when the Broncos had won those championships back-to-back, it was because the girls had played together forever. So it says something about having a veteran team and a new team that just takes some time, and the Broncos are definitely showing that they are meshing well in this contest today.
Pavrovich just steps inside the arc, one dribble. Muse, another rebound, more points, and 18 on the night for Muse, a new career high.
Great putback right there by Muse. She's realizing that if she just keeps the ball above her head, she's got an easy look at the basket.
Nagai finding space to take the triple, and Narrow with the rebound. Mary Kay Narrow's almost got a double-double. Lavrovich will get the basket on another beautiful find.
The Broncos are definitely pushing it in transition. The Knights need to get back in defense so they can stop the fast break play to continue this game from going the direction it is.
And you saw that bench there of Osley and Lalott. That is the entire Boise State bench at the moment. Trista Hull looks like she's being checked out by Mary Grace Testa, Boise State athletic trainer. Hopefully nothing serious for her. Depleted numbers, and it's gone down one more, it looks like, at least for the time being.
Yeah, this is a game the Broncos just need to finish and finish strong.
They'll have 8 days until they go take on Colorado State in Fort Collins. And this one is a good way to get there. Narrow can't bank home the shot from outside. And conference is shaping up to be something very interesting this year, especially concerning the fact that Boise State has to start with arguably the best team in the Mountain West at their gym. They're going to Fort Collins. They're going to play the Rams. 9-1 coming into today for Colorado State. And last year in Boise, Colorado State beat the Broncos twice by 20-point margins in both of them.
Yeah, the Broncos will be able to get home for the holidays, come back, and they've got to be ready as we start conference play, as we're talking about. They're coming back and they got to hit it hard. So get a little rest, recover, and then hit it hard before the end of the new year.
3 of their first 4 will be on the road as well. At Colorado State, then home against New Mexico. Tough defense from Lavrovich. Then at Wyoming on January 3rd, at Nevada on January 6th. That is how Boise State opens up their conference slate. And it is very different from a year ago when you went to a city and you stayed there for 4 days. Not the case. Narrow, no good on the floater, gets her own rebound, tries to chase down the second. Instead, it's Bowers. And Narrow gets herself up off the floor, trying to get into double digits. She's still stuck on 9 points. Abby Muse, great steal. That is the 5th Warner Pacific turnover in the last 5 minutes. Broncos on a 10-0 run because of it.
This is where the Broncos need to pass the ball, use the clock, slow it down, find the open look.
Things have certainly slowed down. A lot of that due to the scoreline, of course. And also, both of these teams tired. It has been a long back and forth game played at both ends, and this foul is going to go on Lavrovich. So Lavrovich picks up the foul, and we take a timeout. 82-34, Boise State, the commanding lead. Well, in each of the last 12 seasons, Boise State has won its final non-conference game during the regular season. They look to be well on their way here today. They are up, 3:44 left, and Warner Pacific would need a Christmas miracle to come back in this one, as Jackson at the line shooting 2 makes the first.
It's a great win by the Broncos as they finish this one out today. To be able to go home for the holidays before they start conference play, great way to end the non-conference.
So many great performances. You got Abby Muse with her double-double, Elodie Lalat with her 5th of the season. She's got 12 and 10, and Jackson's gonna get called for a foul. I think she had her foot on top of Lalat's, because Elodie looked like she was in some pain.
Definitely pushing her there. Trying to get out. Not really sure. Foul. Out of bounds play for the Broncos.
Yeah, not much of a foul, especially after what we saw in the first half. Everything was going. Not the case here in the second. Lalat out to Osley. 5 on the shot clock. Trista Hull, this is a 2, and with a lot of space in front of her, converts.
Trista Hull has come to these last couple games for the Broncos. She's bringing it to ExtraMile Arena, and she has had a great performance today.
Hull has now 10 points here on the night. Freshman from Yakima, Washington. Season high is 16. Picked that up here at home against Florida Atlantic on December 5th. And Elodie Lalat has rebound number 11. She's chasing a career high in rebounds of 12. A lot of career days for Boise State. And that's what they're supposed to do against an NAIA opponent.
And if you're the Knights, although this is not the outcome, as we see here, the drive by Lindsay, the foul there, driving to the basket. If you're the Knights, not how you thought this game was going to come, but there are things that you can take away and learn from, as they will start conference play as well in the new year. Not always bad. There's always good stuff from every competition. So for the Knights team, we know they will have a great season.
Especially that defense that they showcased in the first quarter. Anna Osley rolls it around. Thought she was going to get three-pointer number 7. So close was Osley. Would have set a new career high in points for her as well.
Yeah. Rolled in, almost bounced in. Broncos will try again on this baseline out of bounds play.
Osley once more. Abby Muse wants to get in on the shooting act, and she shows her ability to score outside of the paint.
Yeah, it was an open pass across court. Back screen right there to get Abby open.
4th assist for Trista Hull, 25th on the night for Boise State. 34 makes for the Broncos, who are shooting 50%. 25 of those have come thanks to helpers.
It's a great overall scoring when you can have assists, that assist to basket made ratio.
Osley with the fake pass. And Trista Hull is going to get fouled. Big reach in. Hannah Myers hit her right on the arm. Minute 30 left to go. Commanding victory on the way for Boise State. And the question now is, Heather, how do they come out against Colorado State? It's on the road. They've got a big game. A lot of excitement to be carried over. But it's a Rams team that looks like they could run away with the Mountain West this year as well.
Broncos can come to that game, or must come to that game. They've got nothing to lose. They can bring their effort. They can bring the will to compete. And at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who wants it more. And they've got to come play as if everything would be against them. Come play, and the worst thing that can do is you can get the W, which is what you come into the game for.
It'll be an exciting game for Boise State, a real good barometer of where they are at. Jackson, first 3 of the night. It finally falls, takes her 8 tries, but she does get it. And for Warner Pacific, this game coming at the end of a long stretch of basketball for them. they'll get a nice break as well. They've already played 5 conference games in the CCC. And so the team from Portland will get to take some time off before they come back as well. They'll return to action right back here in Idaho. In fact, on New Year's Eve, they'll take on Lewis Clark State College up in Lewiston. Just a hole, can't get it. Sydney McQuieter flying in there. Second chance opportunity. Trista Hull goes up, she gets fouled. And it's more free throws coming for Boise State.
The Broncos have not only done it on the offensive side today, but they have also done it on the defensive side, as we talked about earlier today. Broncos have done and kept teams all but one underneath 70 throughout the season, and that goes back to BYU, who is doing great things in college basketball these days. So kudos to the Broncos on the defensive end. Although the score is 89-39 right now, Broncos are doing a great job on the defensive side.
And it's really hard to kind of compare that BYU game to anything for Boise State, because a few years ago, Boise State and BYU were on very similar planes in terms of where they were at as programs. BYU just returned 5 starters, 3 of them who were all WCC. They lost in the tournament last year to the Arizona team that finished runner-up. Boise State had a couple of transfers, mostly all sophomores or freshmen out on the floor. In fact, on the court right now, there isn't an upperclassman for the Broncos. So that BYU game is hard to compare for Boise State. It's not necessarily something you look at. It's more the outlier than the consistent fact. But the fact is, for Boise State, it's another game where they hold the team under 65 points. They keep Warner Pacific to 39. Broncos score 90 in this one, and they crash the glass, picking up 56 rebounds and also share the ball with the 25 assists.
It was an all-around team effort today. Many of your Broncos getting into double digits, so many records set today. All-around team effort, and a great way to head into conference play with a little bit of break here for the holidays.
It's Anna Osley who ties a career high with 20 points. She has 6 assists. Mary Kay Narrow just misses out on a double-double. In fact, she was close to a triple-double had she got some more minutes. She played 36 minutes, got 9.7 rebounds, 11 assists for Narrow. The 2 double-doubles, Elodie Lalat with 12 points and 11 rebounds, and Abby Muse, who sets her career high with 20 points, 14 rebounds as well for Muse, and she had those 3 big block shots. Broncos finished the night with 4 blocks. Defense has been the key all season for Boise State, and doesn't seem like that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, the Broncos started on the defensive end, which then pushed it to the offense. Great game, pushing both sides, as you see here. The Broncos, great win for their 4th of the season.
Broncos 49% from the floor, 34 of 70, and 9 three-pointers made for Boise State on 25 attempts. And I believe, indeed we are, going to be joined by Abby Muse. We'll give her 1 second. Abby Muse joining us here. Great game for you, Abby. You set your career high with 20 points here tonight. How did it feel to have so much success down on that low block?
It was a really great feeling. I mean, credits to my teammates. We battled hard. Honestly, this game is for Caitlin. She had a horrific injury yesterday, so this game's just for her, and I'm glad we could play our hearts out for her and honor her, because we really missed her tonight.
Abby, you did it from all over. 20 points, 7 for 3 from the floor, 6 for 8 from the free throw line, and 14 rebounds. How does that feel, and what does that mean as a Bronco setting a career high?
It feels amazing. I'm really proud of myself and proud of my teammates. I know I struggle with finishing sometimes, so just working through that today, I'm really glad I was able to finish it out. So.
And going forward now, it's a great win to end off the non-conference season. You got to get your mind right for Colorado State.
Yep.
They're a team that's 9-1 at the moment. You're going into their gym. How do you take what happened here today and keep that success rolling when you go there on the 28th?
It's just momentum. We talk about stacking the days and getting better every single day, so we're just going to take the energy from this game, keep working out over this Christmas break, and hopefully channel it when we come back in a week.
Well, Abby, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Abby Muse, Boise State sophomore, posts a career high with 20 points. 14 rebounds for Abby Muse. Team win for Boise State. Buster off to go find more shenanigans to get into. The Broncos are going to be on their way to Colorado here very soon. They'll take on the Rams in the Centennial State, but a lot to take away from this game here, Heather.
It is, and the Broncos, great fourth win, great win here with the Broncos. Up next, December 28th here at ExtraMile Arena.